Well, here we are, Monday, last day of May. And some of them, what a lovely, it's Otter and Cuba out here now, I think, don't you? Oh, this is lovely, handsome. I thought, well, I'd come a bit earlier today and get the story done so that you can all go out and sit in your gardens or go, be careful on the beach, mind, with the wind and all blowing. You'd be surprised how quick you get burnt. Now, I hope everybody's all right, staying safe. Just don't listen too much to anything on the TV, it'll be all right. If we carry on like this for a minute, it's all right. Everything's going to be a positive. Just keep smiling. Think of all those dear loved ones that have lost their lives. That's what I think about. Anyway, I just want to say quickly to a great friend of mine who's up in Wiltshire there, Jackie Hutchins. You have a nice day today, Jackie. Everything all right down here in Ailes? Okay, all right. You know what I mean? Everything's fine. Wonderful. Now just take care. Now I'm going to do a Liz Arman here today. This one's about the chimney. She's writing to her dear nephew and niece. I thought I'd let you know how we're keeping. Uncle Alfred had a stomach trouble, and what does he expect when he will eat a hot, heavy cake on top of a pasty half a yard long, followed by rhubarb tart and cream? No human stomach can take it. Perhaps you'll learn one day. As for the news down here, my auntie neighbour went out and painted flowers all round her front door. Painted her dustbin to match too. The dustbin never emptied for 3 weeks, thinking it was a garden ornament. It was stinking so bad that not even the cats would go near him. So Alfred went out in the middle of the night with a drop of paraffin and set fire to him. That put paid to the roses round the bin. There's some wonders about nowadays, isn't there? They even got telephone on beaches. We went down Perrin Beach with the children and saw this little box stuck up on a plank. What's that for, says I. Life-saving, said the boy, Peter. Upon that, the box started ringing. What does that mean, I asked him. Well, that means, said Peter, that someone out to sea is drowning and is ringing for help. Well, I was thinking we'd better answer it when it stopped. So now I shall never know if the man ringing up for help was life-saved or no. We went up to the concert of the chapel schoolroom last week. You know, some people will make spectacles of themselves, won't they? There was a bunch of women who walked to know better, up on the stage dressed up in their gathered skirts with handkerchiefs tied round their heads trying to do a dance. Village maidens, said the minister, called them, and said how the ladies were congratulated they'd done their choreography themselves. I can't see what he meant by choreography, because you never saw such a kurgan and a geekin in your life. Village maidens, not one of them have been a maiden for 40 years or more. Grannies, every one of them. Up there showing the drawers and various veins. I reckon they're all in bed with bad backs this week. I've gone and got myself a little job, doing for an old gentleman up the street. He come up country, you know. You can tell he got a bit of a job understanding what I to say. The other day his clock stopped and he was going to take him to be mended. Guss on, I said, I'll give it to our Richard. He'll take him abroad and fixin'. Oh no, said Mr. Smith, there's no need to go to all that trouble and expense. I'm sure there is someone in Cornwall who can mend it. No need to take it to foreign parts. See what I mean? Alfred done a rare thing this week. The old chimney been smoking, and I said, we'll have sweeping. No need do that, said Alfred. Charlie next door got a set of brushes. I'll borrow they and do it myself. When I wasn't very cautious, because Fred isn't the world's best handyman, he took umbrage and said, my dear woman, any fool can sweep a chimney. All you've got to do is push the brush up and keep turning to the right. I was given orders to keep it the way, so I gave him plenty of covers for the furniture and went into the kitchen and said a prayer. I heard grunts and groans and rattling and knocking and what sounded like the roof falling in. Then I heard a very weak call. Sarah Ann, can you spare a minute? What a sight met my eyes. That natural fool never put no sack up in front of the fireplace, and he was kneeling in front of ours, covered up from top to toe in soot. Soot was full on everything like dust from a volcano. The poor goldfish was swimming around like one demented. There was so much soot on the bowl. It came out like an avalanche, said Alfred, and what's more, I forgot keep turning to the right, so the brush is stuck up the chimney, I said. I thought any fool could sweep a chimney. There's only two ways to unstuck a brush of a flue. One is to climb up on the roof and drop a rock down, or stick paraffin rag up and set fire to him. I thought of Alfred's blood pressure and couldn't face him having a spasm up on the roof, so we decided to set fire to him. That was a mistake, for when the brush caught light, they set fire to what was left up there, and they all come floating out in the room like mackerel swimming round. In the end, we had to have the fire brigade, and that was a disaster because afterwards I felt like we'd been struck by a tidal wave. It took us days to clean up. We had to pepper and paint the room, and when Alfred said to me, "There's one good thing, the chimney has had a good clear out," I tell you, I threw the brush at him. He'd looked some sheepish ever since. Now, before I close, I'll tell you this. You know our boy James, have got married. Well, the night before the wedding, Alfred took James down to the parlour to have a few words. I suppose Alfred is going to tell him the facts of life, I thought. I reckon I would have a heart, I might learn something. Now, I heard Alfred say, "You're going to be married, my boy. Well, one thing you must always remember, the woman is the weaker vessel, and you must always give in to her." "Oh, that's very well, Uncle," said James, but can you tell me, what if she's on the wrong track? I could almost hear Arthur thinking. Then he said, "That don't matter, son. You must give in to her just the same. Never forget, boy, the women are always right." I thought to myself, Sarah Ann, it took you 50 years to get Alfred to see sense. Everything to come to she did not wait long enough. Now, my loves, I better say long. Uncle Alfred to send his kind regards. Give the child a kiss from me. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.